What is good, guys? Charles from Team COG coming at you guys here with a post commentary, kind of a dueling Nexus replay. I'm going to be showcasing my Crusadia deck when we get Eternity Code. And yeah, so anyway, I think I'm going to do more of these in the sight of the quarantine. I have been playtesting with Firefist, so please expect the Firefist deck to probably pop up one of these. I think this will be just called Highlights from Testing, or Testing Highlights. I don't know what I'm going to name the series, but you're going to get to see Parallel Exceed here, and it's full glory and how powerful this card really is, in the sense that it just like puts another body on board. It's just really good. We're going to be able to I think we're going to trigger make Ling Kribo here. Yep, that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We're going to make the Ling Kribo, which is just going to protect our place from impermanence, because sometimes people hold the imperm for the Spatha or the LP, or potentially the Skull Dread. So this right here just allows us to play around that and through that pretty well. But also, we're going to still be able to use and abuse the Dugaris. So like maybe go in here a little bit greedy, and we did not have to use the Dugaris, but because we already have access to like everything that we need. So, but like what we're digging for now is probably an Arborea just to get it. But instead we end up drawing into Crawler and a Leonis. So we're just going to go ahead and dump the Leonis and keep the Crawler, just because we can just put the Crawler back, because we want to keep that for her to keep her Equal Max Negate alive. But now we're just going to go ahead and go on into our Spatha, which should probably get a holo reprint if you ask me. A good old super rare or ultra rare would be pretty nice. But yeah, so a few of you guys out there are like, and don't worry, from one of my good old subscribers, Kyle Thompson, if you're watching this, I do have a going second list that I'm probably going to showcase sometime next week, depending on like how everything goes. Maybe not, excuse me, not a list, but a playthrough highlight reel. It just depends on how everything really goes. But some people are like, so like Dueling Nexus has the errata of Red and B already, so that means that the errata is already there, so we already play and test on it. However, like at first I kind of believe that LP would get hit in the upcoming list. However, upon like testing more and like seeing it, I could very well see LP getting power crept out, just because it is so vulnerable to so many amounts of hand traps that even a good Ash right here would probably be enough to kind of hurt us in a sense. But as you guys can see in our hand, we'd have the ability to play through an Ash and still let the Sea Turtle touch down. As you guys can probably guess, in this new build that's going to be coming out, and when we get Eternity Code, I'm not playing the Rockets again. I'm so wishy-washy with them, just because like you do play with assortment, like you make them playable via Striker Dragon, but like they are inherently bricks in the deck, and just Quick Launch being such a powerful card is just, it's just kind of eh. But we're going to see, I didn't draw into any other Crusadia, which makes me kind of upset that I had to pitch the Leonis. So as you guys are seeing here, like I'm just going to go ahead and opt to put back the Crawler, the Draco, and I believe the Ranru, keep the other two in my hand, and keep the Called By, just because I can use that during my opponent's turn to potentially give myself counters. This is going to be not sure, like this is like not my favorite board in the world, because I don't get to end on Equal Max, but I get to end on Skull Dread, Gamma Seal, with a set Called By and a Ling Kribo, with the ability to, if they break my board, follow up with another play using Maximus and the Ranru for the next turn. So then after that, I mean, it's still not too bad. It's just kind of like bad draws on my part, probably for me getting too greedy with the Dugaris. It's, you know, karma. But we're going to see Pendulum's touchdown, so I'm going to opt to negate this Mighty Master, because I don't want even this card to be even in play or in cycle. And I opt to let, I think, the Chronograph go through, because now my next target I need to stop is the Magical Conductor or the Servant. So right now it's just kind of like I'm in a difficult spot, because I can't use that Call By to particularly fuel my Gamma Seal negates. So I kind of have to like hope that he draws into like Desires, into the Void, Allure, and stuff like that, his own like cards that go to the graveyard. And it's not looking too good. I knew I was kind of sweating it here, just because I was like, oh no. But then he activates this Into the Void, which, believe it or not, the Into the Void and the Pot of Desires end up being his, spoiler alert, there's a Pot of Desires coming, I believe. They end up being like his downfall, because they fuel my own counters for me. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the Magical Conductor from even touching base. No, never mind, it's not Pot of Desires, it's that, it's the, you'll see it here. This right here, the Spell Power Mastery. So by letting him get this, I'm like, sure, go ahead and get it, give me another counter. Which, if you guys, when you guys see here, it'll annotate saying Tidal Waterfront ×1 counter. so that like he just keeps fueling my own Gamecill, which I was like, dang. But of course we're gonna get rid of this servant. We cannot even have this card even consider to be played. Like, it's not even a question. Like, that card touches down, get rid of it. But he has one card in hand, I'm not too worried. But it ends up being Pot of Desire, so then that kind of worries me in a sense. But however, Pot of Desire is yet again going to the graveyard, giving my Waterfront another counter. So this is where like your opponent can actually like beat themselves in this scenario, because like they're playing into the Waterfront, continually giving Gamecill counters. And this is why I do believe that the Gamecill is just so strong, which is, you're going to see here, I'm going to negate that Chronograph again, just making sure he doesn't get any scales, but he forgets that he can attack over Linkuriboh, which is quite funny. But now I kind of make a misplay here. If I would have put the Gamecill into attack mode, this would have been game. However, you know, like, it's very odd, like, you very seldom put that Gamecill in attack mode. You normally keep it in defense when you're in like a grindish scenario like this. I didn't want to risk him just being able to special summon something that didn't start a chain and whack over me. However, hindsight thinking, I shouldn't have really feared anything, but that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and whack over the Time Gazer, hit him with Maximus, hit him with Skuldred, hit him with the Linkuriboh, and we're gonna see that be it for pretty much this game here. He's in a top decking situation, and right now I was thinking I should link into a Regilex just to get counters on Waterfront, but instead I kind of think of a little something play. I remember like in my extra deck here, I am playing Tornado Dragon for this particular matchup in a sense of spell and trap, like just like Pendulums and Stun or set 5 in past decks. Like Tornado Dragon shines really good. So I decided to go on Tornado Dragon and just go and clear his scale. So now if he even draws into a scale, I can pop it with Tornado Dragon. If he decides to draw into a card, he'll give my Waterfront counters. It's just looking very good in my favor. Sadly, this Linkuriboh somehow survived. It shouldn't have survived, but it is. But he's going to go ahead and normal summon Conductor and attack into the Linkuriboh. I'm just going to let the Linkuriboh die because there is really no need to. I mean, I really can't protect it, but it's the only thing he can attack into. And we're just going to go ahead and pass it in. I'm going to normal summon Leonis for giggles, just to ensure that I can kill him. I'm going to make sure that I hit him with the Leonis for game. Just in the good old Aslan the Lion smacks in. So moving on to the next duel here. Most of these I really did good. I ended up winning all the pretty much the rock paper scissors, which is all right, I guess. I really wanted to showcase some going second, and these hands are very like, as you guys are seeing, like this is like one playthrough. I play tested three games, and like these are all 3 games that are going to be on here. Are like, so like the hands are very consistent in what they do, and as you guys can tell, that's the entire point, is to particularly open like a bunch of Crusadia plus a bunch of extenders. And I do make a huge misplay here. I should have activated the Kyoto already, however I forgot, so I miss out on 1 counter, which isn't too big of a deal because I'm going to be able to get the 3 regardless with the Paralytic Seed. So this card is extremely busted. It comes out of Eternity Code, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. I'm also playing that with 3 Renru, and I think 1 of each lesser familiar, as you can see Gigabyte here. And that's the route I'm taking because of the level 4. Originally I thought Exceed was able to become like a level 8, which I thought like, dang, we can make Dingritsu, Hope Harbinger, we can do like a bunch of cool plays. And again here I go for Garrus, which is very questionable. Like again, I think I was just being greedy. I really didn't need to because I had the Waterfront, because right now all I'm really digging for is an Arborea. And I dig into Call by the Grave and Warlord Succession. I pitched the Reclusia. Hindsight, I decided to keep the Call by just because in case they had some sort, you know, if you're playing against, say, you know, someone who's like not an amateur, for lack of better terms, or know what the deck they're playing against, they'll hold like Ash and stuff for the LP, and that's something that I wanted to make sure that I had covered, because right now I could stop Perm, but I can't stop like any other hand trap, and that would kind of, again, leave me not dead in my tracks. That allow me to at least put out a Gamecill, which, as you guys can see, like Gamecill alone can just win you games. But I just held that Call by for this reason, because if I don't use it, I can just put it back with the Skuldred. And like I said, guys, Skuldred is errated, so like we're only going to be able to use its effect once, so we're only going to essentially be able to make 1 Skuldred. They have been some cool plays you can do with Paralytic Seed, is like when you get Paralytic Seed, you can summon it, summon both of them, link off to Linkuriboh, and then like you have the ability to make another one. But my draws here are pretty good. I draw into the third Paralytic Seed, which isn't the best, but I end up drawing into just enough like recursion and stuff. It's actually going to be quite crazy. We're going to go ahead and get the Gameciel out because like it's our major win condition. But then we're going to special summon the Maximus, go on into like Super Saiyan Aslan here, and we're just going to use a recursion spell such as Succession to bring back whatever we choose. I really like here on Dueling Nexus how they have like the OCG names, because like World Legacy Inheritor, Paladin, like that's just, I kind of like that. I just noticed that myself, which is really cool. I really like that actually. But we're going to make sure that Equalmax touches down here, and Equalmax is just going to such a high pressure card, guys. Like I think people like Equalmax alone ain't too scary, but Equalmax just does so much that even when he's alone, like he can just still hold the line. It's just quite incredible. He's such a great card, such a powerful card, very underrated in the Link era if you ask me. But again, we end on Linkuriboh and Equalmax, because like remember guys, like Linkuriboh will be able to negate a trap if he so chooses, like drop permanents. And so he's going to end up summoning Blue Eyes Alternative. So good old Trading's going to be activated, and he's going to pitch, and normally it depends what they pitch that I kind of need to be careful with. So he's going to go ahead and pitch the regular Blue Eyes, but I'm going to go ahead and negate Trade-In, and then follow up to chain with my Called By and my Crawler. The reason I chose to use Called By is because like most times they have a Return of the True Dragon Lords, and because Called By will give myself another counter, also if you own the Gameciel, and then of course Crawler will then allow me to get my last World Legacy card and making the Equalmax live. So it's not really looking too good for him, because now I have the ability to negate the alternative, and he's going to normal summon this Rose Dragon, but it's not looking good for him at all. He normal summon right into Equalmax's zone, and it seems like if he can't, maybe he can link maybe, but he's just going to concede, and we're going to go into our final game here. And this game is probably one of the best games of the night that I was able to play. I'm going to win the dice, win the rock, paper, scissors, and of course I'm going to go first. And then again, I just, you guys, finally I didn't see a Waterfront. So for all the people out there who think this is just a Waterfront or Bust deck, you guys are going to be able to witness right here how this deck is just way more than just Waterfront or Bust. And it's just going to be good. So we're going to be able to chain block with the Draco. And this is where you guys are also going to see the importance of Dugaris, because Dugaris is, we're trying to dig with Dugaris, because we want to draw. So some of my commenters have asked, you know, like, hey, do we really need to play Dugaris? And I think yes, you do, because that extra +2, that extra plus, not even really +1, that extra draw, the digging deeper, is so important. But also something you guys got to remember is he is a walking monster reborn, and he's just an OTK enabler in himself. So Dugaris is going to get us Gameciel and Ranru, I think, fire off that. But we're going to go ahead and pitch the Gameciel. My play, like my thought process, is that if we get to Skuldred and we draw into Waterfront, we can just monster reborn the Skuldred, or not Monster Reborn, the Gameciel, making it live, and that was just allowing us to keep extra hand resources in a sense. But we're going to go ahead and continue on. Right here though, if we were to be able to be ashed, we would have the ability to particularly play through it. We wouldn't be able to make the best board just because our hand was not like great, but it was, you know, for lack of better terms, it was optimal enough to put up something. But we're going to go ahead and go into our Skuldred, hopefully get into the Waterfront, and we'll see if we do. And sadly, we do not, which that's all right, you know, no harm, no foul. This is actually really good. I wanted to make sure to showcase you guys this. This is just a good tool to showcase you what happens when you don't see Waterfront and what you can do when we don't, and the entire point of playing the Guard Dragon package and the Guard Dragon engine. So if you do, it's like you want to draw into either A, Waterfront, or B, Extenders, and you're always going to either draw into one or the other. Very, like, maybe 1 out of 10 times, like you will, or maybe, let me be realistic, 2 out of 10 times, you will maybe draw into absolutely nothing. But, you know, it is Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything's up to ratios and stuff like that. So, like, when it comes down to it, luck and chance have to be in your favor, and sometimes they're not. But we're going to see Super Saiyan Aslan touch down here, Regulex, and we're going to go ahead and summon out the White Dragon, which is going to grab us the Crawler, the faithful Crawler boy, who, coincidentally, was not in any of my opening hands for the recording of these duels. So we're going to get the Black Dragon, we're going to go ahead and summon the Black Dragon, and then we're going to go ahead and special out Arborea from our hand, because we're going to try and push for the best board we can without the turtle, which is still like very good against certain decks. We're going to special Maximus, and then we're going to smack that Monster Reborn down because bring back the Draco. And then we have the choice to go into Dweller or Tornado Dragon, but Dweller just has a better overall around choice, so I go off to go into Dweller with a set Crawler. So right here, guys, we're able to end on Abyss Dweller, Ophidian Dragster, and Equalmax. And that is, with the ability, we're going to be able to recur the Crawler, because during the standby phase here, we're going to activate Abyss Dweller, like chain the Crawler, and we're going to be able to get some recursion, which is extremely good in most matchups. Now, the thing that's going to kind of be quite ironic is going to be this Foolish Burial. I decided to let it go through. It's not worth erasing, negating, because Abyss Dweller is live, so whatever he sends won't get its effect, but we're going to see a Cyber Dragon go in there, and it's, oh, not Cyber Dragons. Cyber Dragons is this deck's worst matchup. Most of the time, they can't really, like, through this board, they can plow through it easy, because we have a monster next to Monster Zone, we have a machine, but if we were able to get the turtle, they wouldn't be able to, this game would already be in the bag if we even had the turtle, but sadly, as you guys can see, our best board that we can make without the turtle just doesn't do it against Cyber Dragons. That Cyber Emergency is going to be activated, however, I know better than to negate it with Dawn Dragster, so we're going to negate it with Equalmax. Galaxy Soldier is going to be his saving grace here. By using that Galaxy Soldier to pitching the Cyber Dragon Dre, I believe he's going to be able to add another Cyber Dragon. And then he's going to try to activate Rev System, but of course, like here, I can, like, knowing what's in his hand, I'm going to go ahead and keep a Cyber Dragon from touching field, just because the longer I can do that, the longer my Equalmax will survive from being contacted. But he happens to have the other light for for Galaxy Soldier, pitching another Dre, which I don't know. I think playing 2 Dre is incorrect, so this might be just one of those janky things that are playing out for him in the end. However, we're going to see Cyber Dragon Nova touchdown, and right now you can definitely tell he knows what he's doing. He's just going to be able to special summon the Dre, and then just sadly contact out Equalmax, which is Equalmax's one weakness, and the deck's one weakness against Cyber Dragons is the simple factor that they're able to contact out most of our negates. But this is right here is we're going to see Cyber Dragon Infinity, touchdown, and he's just going to suck up the Abyss Dweller, and then just have the ability to whack over my FA Dawn Dragster. However, guys, your boy wasn't raised a quitter. He's going to hold out, even though he's not going to be able to get the draw because he used Ugaris. I mean, let's just be real, guys. The only reason he was able to get that other Cyber Dragon dry is because of that witch, Carol Baskins. If you guys have seen the Tiger King, you guys catch my drift. But it's not looking good for me. I have to pass it over to him because I wasn't able to draw, and I have World Legacy Succession in my hand. I'm in a very, like, this deck's top decking right now is not very good, just for the fact of, like, no Cyber Dragon Infinity is just going to be able to negate the first thing we do. However, though, he dropped top decks, and it's not anything, so I'm safe from the lethal, barely. However, it's not really looking good. Like, I don't know what I could draw that would get me out of the situation, but my dad didn't raise no quitter, so I'm just going to fight to the very end like a good Crusader would, you guys know. Equalmax Ult, he wouldn't want this to, he wouldn't have us go out and surrender. We fight to the very end, so I'm just going to set the Ranru and just pass. There's not much more that I can particularly do, and yeah, it seems like there's not much more he can particularly do either, which is such a shame. But yeah, so there you guys go. Those are 3 duels. You get to see the deck and its power, and even like at the worst hand, you get to see what it can do, and you actually get to see what happens when, you know, we lose. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to Team COG. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Charles from Team COG, signing out.